the end of the day, the consistency is something that really, really hits people. Can you empower yourself to help be consistent? Oh, God, yes. But that takes its own willpower effort. There will be times when you're excited to do more, but you still have to do the same thing. For example, if you're gaining weight on a muscle gain phase, let's say after you got pretty lean, in the first few weeks, you have your bowl of cereal after training with your whey protein shake. Great choice. You may want to have the whole box, but your diet prescribes you only 2/3 of the box of cereal. You're still a little bit hungry after that meal, but unless you want to become a fat fuck, do not eat the rest. Stop when the meal is over. Wait till your next meal. On the other hand, you will get to the end of your muscle gain phase when most people quit. Week 11, 12, 13, 14, where you look at the whole box of cereal you're supposed to be eating and you're like, fuck that. I could eat 1/3 of this box, just never eat cereal again. It doesn't matter. You still eat the whole fucking box. And you drink your protein shake and you shut the fuck up about it because you said you wanted gains. And that means thick or thin, fire or ice, you got to eat your fucking meals. And it's imposing because sometimes, there's 4 meals that you have to eat in the day. You've eaten 2 of them and you're like, I don't want to eat anymore. Still have to eat the other 2 meals. Or on a fat loss diet, you're like, you finish your food and you're like, I could just keep eating and never stop. That's how I feel. That's nice. Here's your participation award for having feelings. Go to the end of the line and fuck off because you have to do what you have to do. So a lot of nutrition isn't so much the figuring out what to do. That part, some people get stumbled on. There's tons of fads and all this other stuff, carnivore and shit like that. But at the end of the day, the consistency is something that really, really hits people. And can you empower yourself to help be consistent? Oh, God, yes. But that takes its own willpower effort. Meal prep, bulk meal prep. If you meal prep twice a week, put it in Tupperware. Gee, you just have to eat the meals in the Tupperware now. Is that something that's possible? Yes. Is that something that's easy? At first, it's tough. Then it gets easier. There are ways to enhance that process and make it easier. For now, until robots start cooking our food for us, which hopefully will happen sooner than later, it's just some shit you're going to have to do. And fuck it, even when the robots come and cook all your meals for you, you can always be like, hey, robot, cancel my 7 p.m. meal because fuck that, I'm not hungry. Or the robot will make you your diet food and you'll be like, hey, robot, can you make me an extra enchilada? And he's going to be like, that's not on your RP diet app. And you're going to be like, God damn it, just don't tell Dr. Mike. Like, all right, great. So the consistency part's a killer. And the way you get extra jacked or extra lean is just prolonged multiphasic consistency. If you see someone on the Mr. Olympia stage that's like jacked and shredded, you can tell that for at least 5 to 10 years, probably much longer, they've been generally on average in a surplus of calories. They are uncomfortable. They're eating an amount of food that they don't even want to eat constantly. And then you can also tell, because they have, they're super lean and super diced, that at least for the last 12 to 16 weeks, they missed out on eating the food that they wanted to eat. Wanted to eat it, but they still didn't. So one of the cool things about bodybuilding is, people say, like, you see pro bodybuilders on a stage and someone will be like, dude, that's a lot of hard work and dedication right there. And of course, inevitably, some troll's going to be like, that's actually just steroids. And they're like, well, word up. Looks like you could juice up and be on the IFB pro stage in no time. And the answer is both. But steroids are, crazy for me to say, also require consistency.
Yeah.
You don't just take one pill and it happens. You take a pill every day, and then after about a week, you're having thoughts you're not comfortable with, you don't sleep at all, and you're sweating at night, and you fucking hate everyone, and you hate yourself, and you're like, nope, still got to take these stupid drugs to get this stupid result I said I was going to do. So it all comes down to consistency over time, over weeks, over months, and over years. And then people see you on a plane, and they see your big arms, and they see you ripped, and they go, hey, what kind of diet are you? What kind of diet got you like this? You just want to be like, fucking generation of dieting. That's what got me like this. But they told me it's not nice to scream at random people on the plane, so I don't do that anymore.
Probably not. With the consistency, though, I don't know how to define what I'm saying is the consistency over a period of time in anything that you're wishing to master needs to become more disciplined. The point I'm making is for the people that are listening, mistakes that I see athletes make is they jump straight on the bodybuilding diet. Chicken rice, I'm going to do this 4 times a day. It's too much. It's too big of a jump. Where just fucking eat 2 meals. If you don't have any structured meals, just start with like 3 structured meals a day.
Yeah.
Fuck whatever it is.
Yeah.
Build that habit and then stack on it. Where I think some people jump so far ahead that some can do it, but the mental discipline it takes them to do it isn't sustainable once their show, peak, goal, meet, whatever it is achieved. Then they fall right back where it's anything, right? So it's just work. Like there's a lot of days I don't want to fucking work. I have to. I own the fucking place. I have to fucking do it no matter what. If I don't do the work, but fuck. And that doesn't matter what it is. And there's people that will see work you do, work I do, anybody does, and then think that's where they start.
Sure.
And like, no, man,
Sure.
It doesn't work that way.
Sure.
In the one example I can say, because I see lifters do it all the time, is they need to go through a hypertrophy phase, and we already bitched about that. And then they go on chicken, rice, egg whites. All just like they just printed some fucking what Dexter Jackson's diet from Google.
Yes.
And then they do that. It's like, dude, what the fuck? Right now, you eat at the gas station for breakfast. You have McDonald's for lunch, and you're grabbing a pizza on the way home.
Yeah.
Maybe
there's tons of wisdom there. So a lot of times, if you demand a huge change, the stickiness of that habit is going to be really low. It's going to be tough to hang in there. You don't have the skill set for it. I would even say you might not have the desire for it yet. So when I was a younger lifter, I learned nutrition fairly early, decently well. And what I did was I was very cognizant of how much I was willing to put into my nutrition. I would eat foods that I considered to be pretty good tasting, very accessible, that had enough protein, carbs, and fats, and like were 5 meals a day and met my needs. Had a little junk here and there, had a little bullshit here and there. I never skipped on protein, and I never chronically under or way overate beyond the plan. There's a ton of flexibility in there, though. As I got more serious about sport and bodybuilding, I started to incrementally use more and more precision in my dieting because I was mature enough psychologically to handle it. I had already been so sustainable with everything else that these were just another tiny little habit change that wasn't a lot in the big picture. It didn't transform my life completely in one 6-month go. That's a tough ask. And I think it leads people down the wrong road, because then they have this sort of bipolar understanding of nutrition where they go, either I'm eating like from the dumpster behind the fucking Dunkin' Donuts, essentially, or I am eating Phil Heath's exact diet for his 2014 Mr. Olympia or whatever. There's a lot of room between those two. And even within a competitive season, you should be a little bit one side versus the other. So in my off season, my mass gaining phase, I'll have 2 to 3 cheat meals a week. And what I use for my macros on some other meals can be like, oh, I'll just have like 3 protein bars instead of like chicken and rice or whatever. Way more flexible. As the pre-contest rolls forward, the deeper I get into contest prep, the cheat meals go right away. The precision of the foods increases to get specific, the water retention, all this other crap comes up. And I become much more meticulous. So even I don't do the same quote unquote healthy or bodybuilding diet year round. Even that changes. So when people on different parts of their journeys, when they're just starting to diet, really the idea is to get them to master the basics. Like, all right, how do I diet to lose this weight? Be like, try making your diet healthier. Here's how you do it. Just that change, they can lose 20 pounds in a few months. People take their regular soda, replace it with diet soda. they take their mostly what they eat as junk food and just try to get some fucking decent food. Like, a slice of meat, some fucking potatoes, and some goddamn gravy on it. Even that's better than, like, I don't know, a hot dog or some shit. So you get people to do that, and a lot of times they change for the better. And then sometimes people will do harder diets, more hardcore diets of really like, okay, just down to fish and rice and some broccoli, and that's it. Make sure not to do those for too long so that you burn out of them. Do them until you get the results that you're looking for that are realistic, leaner, whatever it is, down 15 pounds. Once you get there, reverse out back into normal foods more slowly. Monitor your body weight to make sure it doesn't skyrocket up, that it stays roughly where you left it or a little bit up. And then a few months later, when you feel like, hey, I can do another fat loss diet, I'm ready for some restriction, then you go and restrict. One of my colleagues, Dr. Melissa Davis, she's a neuroscientist and kind of our diet psychology expert at RP. One of the things she says that I think is super wise is the diet isn't forever. And that means the fat loss diet. As most people conceive of diet, fat loss diet, same thing. The fat loss diet is 12 weeks long, let's say. You don't need to eat like this the rest of your life. What that helps you do is two things. One, it helps you gear in to the idea of eating in a very specific way. And two, it helps you avoid having to have cheat meals and off-plan meals because, like, you're not there for the long term. It's okay if you just stick to the plan. Pizza is not an extinct, like, it's not a fucking bald eagle or some shit. It's not going to fly away. It's not going to go extinct. There's always going to be pizza after the diet. And it's good for you to have some pizza after the diet is over. And if you understand that, you can crush the diet, follow the specific plan, download the RP Diet Coach app. Mm-hmm. Sorry, I got a weird cough. COVID. If you do that, you can survive, reverse out intelligently after 12 weeks, get back to more normal eating, same basic core of good healthy foods, just with some BS layered on top, and not every meal is perfect. And then when you want to tighten up again, you again sink into the diet. But people think, hey, I'm on a diet, I'm going to cheat and have this one thing. Diet's not forever, man. You don't have to have fucking cheat meals every week.